in a high-performance Dodge.
And gentlemen, start your engines for another day of drag racing at Ubly Dragway. We're all set to go for drag racing Ubly style, the home of the hot ones. The feature attraction today, the world's quickest stock-bodied car, Mr. Norm's Dodge, to rebattle the Ramchargers for the records here at Ubly Dragway. A clash that renews the family feud over drag racing's world elapsed time mark. It's Mr. Norm's blown Hemi, the Chicago supercharged, fuel-injected Dodge Stalker, which holds the world's elapsed time record of 8.58 seconds for the quarter mile, beating the Dodge Ramchargers of Ferndale, Michigan, the former world titleists, in a feature match race at Ubly Dragway. So, gentlemen, it's men and machines at Ubly Dragway. Bring them up. We're ready to go. They're just about set to go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you aren't already at the starting line and at the fences, get there now. We're just about set to go. Mr. Norm on the left lane from Grand Spalding Dodge, all the way from Chicago. The Ramchargers in the right lane with their Candymatic, a brand new car from Hodges Dodges in Ferndale, Michigan. Here they are. They're staged. They're ready. And here come the lights. And the lights are... Ramchargers turning an 865 with a top speed of 161.57. Mr. Norm in the left lane turning a 978. And Mr. Norm's top speed of 127.65. Not the best run for Mr. Norm. He loaded up and didn't get off to a good start. The whole shot went to the Ramchargers all the way. The Ramchargers jumped out in front. Mr. Norm loaded up, stalled out of the line, and the Ramchargers charged home with a 865 and 161.57 run. So the Ramchargers are out in front, 1-0. The cars will be brought back down the return track. How about that? The Ramchargers out in front, 1-0 in the best 2 out of 3 match race here at Ubly Dragway, the home of the hot ones. Drag racing, Ubly style.
Hey, here's the lovely strip queen, Julie Cook. Julie Cook, our 20-year-old brunette beauty, presides over every race here at Ubly, wearing her jewel crown and sleek black swimsuit. Julie, how'd you like that whole shot, baby?
Crazy. It was really groovy. That Thorton is the coolest cat ever. He's really with it, man.
The Ramchargers in the left lane and Mr. Norm from Grand Spalding Dodge over in the right lane. Mr. Norm, the high-performance king, has turned 8.58 seconds. He has and he has hit 170.06 miles an hour. Thinks he's going to need every single bit of it in the run coming up to beat the Ramchargers, because if Mr. Norm doesn't win this one, it's all over. It's the best 2 out of 3 match race, and the Ramchargers currently lead 1-0. Here they come, the Ramchargers jumping it forward. Gary Dyer holding it down. Ramchargers backing it up to get it in stage position. There they are. They have not quite staged it. Now there they are. The Ramchargers just into the stage light. Mr. Norm moving into the stage light. We're just about set to go. Both cars are staged. Here come the lights. Here we go. The Ramchargers are struggling. The Grand Spalding Dodge in the right lane has pulled off a victory. This was the exact opposite of what happened last time. The exact opposite of what happened last time. And listen to this. 8.87 seconds elapsed time in the right lane for Mr. Norm, and 163.93. That's 8.87 at 163.93 for Mr. Norm from Grand Spalding Dodge. We'll check out Ramchargers, 9.76 for the Ramchargers, and 157.89. There was a real run, and that time the Ramchargers loaded up in exactly the opposite race that we saw ran last time. And Mr. Norm comes up in the second run with a victory, ties things up at 1-1, and we'll take this thing right down to the 9th inning. Both cars making their final preparations, building up to that big climax. The Ramchargers in the right lane, of course, and Mr. Norm in the left lane. The Ramchargers won the first one. Mr. Norm won the second one. And they're all set to meet heads on here in the final match. And the Ramchargers look like they may be ready. They've staged their car. They're fastening the shoulder straps. This may be the go. The Ramchargers making the shoulder strap fastenings. Gary Dyer has moved into position, gets a word from his tech crew. It looks like this is going to be the go, says the stage. Car in the left lane comes forward. He is staged. Car in the right lane moves forward. He is staged. Both cars are ready, and here come the lights. The final buzz. All in the right lane, and they're going to have to do it again. They're going to have to do it again. There's a foul in the right lane, and they'll have to do it again. In the event of a foul, it is not a race, and that is why the Ramchargers put on the brakes and got back here. They wanted to make the run this time over, but Mr. Norm, Gary Dyer, decided to make the complete run, and he did so after a hesitant start. So he's going to have to go through the process of folding his chute and everything else, and this race will have to be run again. Gary Dyer in the left lane, the Ramchargers on the right. It looks like they are ready. It looks like they're ready. Hang on, they're ready to stage their cars. This is going to be the run. Both cars bring them up, staged in the left lane. Gary Dyer over the right lane, Jim Thornton with the Ramchargers. Gary Dyer backs her off. The Ramchargers are ready. Dyer brings it back up again. They're both staged, and the lights are ready. Here they come. This is the race. Stand by. Ramchargers and Gary Dyer side by side. We're going to take this race right down the wire, and it's in the left lane. Mr. Norm. Mr. Norm in the left lane with an 8.69. Mr. Norm hitting a top speed of 166.35. The Ramchargers with a 9.41 and 110.83. So Mr. Norm manages to hang on to his title as the world's quickest stock-bodied car. Mr. Norm's Dodge re-rattling the Ramchargers for the records here at Ubly Dragway, and Mr. Norm in a beautiful bonsai run manages to defeat the Ramchargers. The Ramchargers standing on the rear wheels for an eighth of a length on that track, and continued on to defeat the Ramchargers. Mr. Norm in the last run, 8.69 and 9.41 for the Ramchargers. And Mr. Norm hitting 166.35, the Ramchargers getting a shutdown speed of 110.83.
We're going to try to get an interview right now with the fellows who drove the car at the present time. You hear the crowd reaction to Gary Dyer, who has driven Mr. Norm's car to victory here today. And we're signaling them to get out of the car at the present time, and it looks like we're going to be successful. Gary Dyer getting a big crowd reaction from the crowd here at Ubly Dragway for his victory in Mr. Norm's car from Grand Spalding Dodge. And Gary, if you'll just step this way, please. And I'm sure you aren't quite aware of what your elapsed time was or anything on that run, but we want to congratulate you first of all on a big victory here today. Were you worried about it at all at any time?
Well, you always have to be worried when you're in competition. They're all pretty tough.
That's right. And how about the Ramchargers? How do you regard them as your...
Well, they're the big boys. They're the boys that beat, you know, and you have to try hard with all of them, but there you got to try a little bit harder when you run them.
That's right. Did the pressure build up on you a little bit when you knew that you were 1-1 with them after that first run?
Well, I felt a little bit better when I knew I was 1-1. I felt a little bit bad after the first one. But when you even it up, it's a little bit better.
What happened? Did it load up on you a little bit in that?
Yeah, it loaded up a little bit the first run. You know, these things are pretty touchy.
You're saying they're pretty touchy. Is there any tricks that you have to know to drive one of these things? I know it's almost a rail with a stock body.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm still learning.
Always learning. What do you think you might have learned today, Gary?
Well, I learned to watch out for all the other guys. You know, you just learn something every day. You just learn to work with the track a little bit. You know, like we laid the rosin out a little bit farther and all that, and everybody done a real good job.
How about your tech crew? Did they come through for you today pretty well?
Well, that was a big thing. You know, that's where it counted, laying the rosin and how long to lay it and everything turned out perfect.
Getting her cooled down in that short a time, I think that was a big thing too, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
After that fall?
Well, we're all working pretty hard on it, and of course Mr. Norm just jumps in there and works with the rest of us just like everybody else.
You're a pretty good boss to work for, is he?
Oh, yeah, real good.
Okay, is there any incentive for you to win these things? I mean, does he come up and say you're going to lose your job if you don't win? Or
nobody comes up and he just says, I don't care what you do, just win.
Okay, thanks and congratulations, Gary.
Okay, thank you.
Can I say one thing?
Sure, Mr. Norm, go ahead.
First of all, this is Ron O'Donnell, our new driver.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We didn't make note of it today because there was a lot of pressure on him. It's the first time he'd gone against one of the top drivers in the country, and we just didn't want too many people talking to him about it and so forth.
Oh,
but he really accomplished a feat for himself. But it always, it still proves one thing. It only takes one Mopar to beat another Mopar. They're terrific cars.
Yes, they are. They put on a beautiful show here today. We want to thank you, Mr. Norm, for coming all the way up from Chicago.
Oh, we really enjoy it. We certainly do.
We hope to see you again real soon.
So do we.
There are the fellas from Grand Spalding Dodge, Mr. Norm and his crew, here at Ubly Dragway. We're going to try to secure an interview next with Jim Thornton. Jim, can you step over this way, please? Well, Jim, you kind of got shot down today, huh?
Yes, we broke the prop shaft on the last run, just so I went into high.
I kind of thought that top speed wasn't what it should have been, and I didn't think you were the quitter type. So
it's about 50 miles an hour slow.
Just, did you have any trouble with that wheel stand on that last run? Did this cause you any problems?
Yes, it did. I had to back off for quite a ways for it to come back down. But I think I was still in the race when I came back down. But then the prop shaft broke, and that was it.
Very true. I noticed that you did get the hole shot on him. You're pretty famous for this, aren't you, Jim? Getting that real big jump?
Well, we try to.
Are you involved in any other sports besides drag racing, or were you ever? I know you got real good coordination on those lights.
Well, I used to play football in high school.
Yeah, I imagine you did all right there, too, huh?
Well, fair.
How about this car, the Ramchargers? It's a brand new machine, isn't it?
Yes, this is the first time out.
And how did it perform for you today?
Very good. Our elapsed time of 8:65 is the best we've ever turned, and I think it's going to be a hard one to beat.
And you're pretty happy with it, then, eh?
Very definitely.
And this small break that you had in your shaft there isn't going to cause any problems?
Well, I don't think so.
Okay, good. And this Ramcharger car, of course, is a successor to a car that's been very successful. You think you're going to be able to keep up the Ramcharger name with this?
Well, I think so. This is going to be quite a bit quicker than our old car, so we should be able to.
Okay. And we want to thank you for talking with us, Jim. And we know that you're going to have a real good car there. You've got the best driver right here. So we want to wish you the best of luck and a lot of success in the future. We hope to see you again at Ubly Dragway here real soon.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
And that's Jim Thornton of the Ramchargers. You heard us talk with both the winner and the loser here at Ubly Dragway in a tremendous match race at Ubly Dragway, the home of the hot ones. Drag racing, Ubly style.
Get with the go group, be in the no group, meet Mr. Norm. Well, come on, all you go see Mr. Norm. Start on the grass and swing with the storm.